A House with Open Doors, a comprehensive study on white marriage in Iran. Field research by Kameel, Ahmady and colleagues.
White marriage. Cohabitation with sexual relations without formal marriage is a product of the 1960s sexual revolution and is increasing dramatically across Europe and America today. In the 1970s, about 400,000 cohabitation couples lived in America. This number reached 1.5 million couples in the 1980s to 1990s and exceeded 7 million couples by 2010. In Iranian society, cohabitation as an emerging phenomenon is expanding. Given the sensitivities, there are no accurate statistics on this, and state officials have kept silent about it. A House with Open Doors is about the phenomenon of white marriage examined in Tehran, Mashhad, and Isfahan between 2017 and 2018. The study of white marriage was conducted within an interpretivist perspective and a qualitative methodological approach using grounded theory, GT, and semi-structured as well as in-depth interviews.
Factors influencing the increase of white marriage in Iran. Contextual factors, economic, social, legal, and formal frameworks. Intervening factors, family circumstances, weakened supervision, living as a migrant. Background factors, individual experiences and worldviews. Research findings. Young people entering into white marriage and cohabitation tend to be less sensitive towards religious values. This form of marriage is much more prevalent among undergraduate and graduate students. Most were born in the late 1980s who migrated to big cities for higher education and stayed on after graduation without finding jobs matching their field of study. White marriage in Iran differs from Western patterns. It is not free of gender stereotypes. A form of patriarchy also exists in such relationships. Public opinion disapproves of this lifestyle, so such relationships are often concealed from families. According to this research, 27.15% of respondents said their parents were aware of their cohabiting relationships. 61.25% stated their siblings knew. 3.13% said acquaintances knew, and 35.48% said their friends knew of their special relationships. 34.10% of respondents said no one knew.
Quote from a young man. If my family finds out, we would definitely face major threats, either being disowned or severely punished by the state, which equals a stoning in Iranian society. If society knows you had a white marriage, they start slandering with social humiliation that could lead to physical beating and even cutting all social ties with you. Perspectives. Respondents to the A House with Open Doors study cited disbelief in formal marriage as the most important reason for white marriage at 37.41%. Greater freedom and bodily autonomy were influences at 19.20%. Better acquaintance at 28.14% and mistrust at 38.7% were other top reasons.
Consequences. The most important consequence of white marriage in Iran is a reluctance towards formal marriage. Couples refer to virginity as a private, unimportant matter. Although outwardly considered insignificant, hymen repair is often done to conceal it. Unwanted pregnancy is not unimaginable, which if it occurs would lead to abortion. Abortion is religiously and legally prohibited in Iran, but has increased in recent years.
Ways to reduce impacts. Government acceptance of the existence of white marriage. Comprehensive identification of the dimensions, causes, and impacts of white marriage based on scientific research. Cultural preparation, public awareness, and education to prevent consequences and individual and social damages. Revising legal regulations related to white marriage with emphasis on judicial protection of couples and children.
The free and online version of this book is now available on Kameel Ahmady's personal website, as well as on Google Play, Google Books, and Amazon platforms.